The next question goes to the Honorable Representative of the Dainik Jagran newspaper, Mr. Rajkishore. Right there, please.
प्रधानमंत्री जी नमस्कार, मैं राजकिशोर हूं दैनिक जागरण से। मेरा प्रश्न है, पिछले 10 वर्षों में आप पर सबसे ज़्यादा चुप रहने के आरोप लगे हैं। कांग्रेस पार्टी में भी ये कहा जाता रहा कि आप सही समय पर राजनीतिक जवाब नहीं देते हैं। आपको ऐसी क्या थी जो रोके रही 10 वर्षों में, और ऐसी कोई कमी आपको लगती कि किसी वक्त पर आपको बोलना था और आप वहाँ पर नहीं बोल सके?
जहाँ तक बोलने का सवाल है, जब भी ज़रूरत पड़ी है पार्टी फोरम में मैं ज़रूर बोलता रहा हूँ और आगे भी बोलता रहूँगा।
The next question goes to the representative from the Hindustan Times, Mr. Subhodro Chatterjee. If I get the name correctly, right there, please.
So this is Shobhadra Chatterjee from Hindustan Times. Sir, with the elections due in barely 4 months, are you still hopeful about pushing some more reforms agenda? And if so, sir, what will be your priorities?
Well, reform is not an event, it is a process. And therefore, so long as we are in power, we will continue to push the cause of reform wherever there is scope for it, and if the circumstances permit to go forward.
The next question goes to the Honorable Representative of the Times Now, Navika Kumar, please.
So I'm Navika Kumar from Times Now, and my question to you is again related to corruption. You, time and again, every year, have written to your ministers to write down and submit to your office all their business interests so that decisions taken by them can be transparent. Now we see a similar example happening in a Congress-ruled state in Himachal Pradesh. Veerbhadra Singh sitting in cabinet meetings deciding on issues that are related to a company when his family and he himself have business involvement with that company. Do you think that's proper?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to comment on what you are referring to happening in Himachal Pradesh. I have seen some newspapers reports. I've also received a letter on 29th of December by Shri Arun Jaitley, but I haven't had the time to apply my mind to it about what is the truth in these allegations.
Next question goes to the representative of NDTV Hindi, Mr. Himanshu Shekhar, please. Yeah, well, we will.
Prime Minister, sir, I had the privilege to attend your first press conference after you became the Prime Minister. At that time, all of us had this perception that Manmohan Singh has a very clean image, a very non-political person has become the Prime Minister, an economist has become the Prime Minister with a good proven track record. 9.5 years later, how do you think an Aam Aadmi now perceives you as a politician, as a Prime Minister?
Well, I am the same person as I was 9 years ago. There has been no change. I say it with all sincerity that I have tried to serve this country with utmost dedication and commitment and with utmost integrity. I have never used my office to enrich or to reward my friends or my relatives.
The next question goes to the representative from the Washington Post, Rama Lakshmi, please.
Mr. Prime Minister, I would like to ask you about the state of India-US relations now. This has been a big agenda in UPA 1 with the nuclear deal. But now, as your term comes to an end, it looks like it has hit rock bottom again. Would you like to comment on that?
Well, our government attaches highest priority to strengthening the strategic partnership between our two countries. There have been recently some hiccups, but I sincerely believe that these are temporary aberration, and diplomacy should be given a chance to resolve these issues that have arisen.
Next question goes to the representative from the DY 365, Rama Sarma. Please.
Thank you, sir. So my question is that difficult terrain is become a very common region by those government implementation, project implementation agency in the northeast, whether it is the border incomplete Indo-Bangladesh border issue or incomplete Silchar Lamding Board Conference railway project. So what is the things that your government has ever tried to overcome this difficult terrain issue?
I have not understood it.
Difficult terrain is always a common phrase for the government project implementation agency in the northeast.
What she's saying.
Terrain, yeah.
The difficult terrain.
Whether it is incomplete border issue,
Last mile.
Well,
incomplete fencing of the border issue.
well, that's very true. I mean, if you're talking about fencing of the border,
Yeah, and the incomplete that other project also in the Assam and northeast.
I think fencing and some of these other projects have been facing some difficulties because of difficulties of terrain. There is no doubt about that.
So can I ask one more question regarding the animals distincts, rhino killings, sir? This is very important for us. So rhino killings has become rampant in Assam. Assam government raised forest guard, forest battalion to stop this, but still this is going on. Do you feel central government should step in to protect rhino?
Rhino is a national asset. Every effort should be made and will be made to protect this precious animal.
The next question goes to Mr. Alok Mehta, please.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, आपने चूंकि एक बड़ा लंबा अरसा देखा है प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में भी, वित्त मंत्री के रूप में, अपोजिशन लीडर के रूप में, और अब जिस तरह से इलेक्शन हो रहे हैं, लाइक लीडर्स के नाम पर ही वोट, चूंकि आपकी पार्टी भी तय कर रही कि पहले ही प्रधानमंत्री का नाम तय हो जाए, तो आपको लगता है कि हमारे सिस्टम में भी कभी मतलब पार्लियामेंट को विचार करना होगा कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में चेंज करके प्रेसिडेंशियल सिस्टम होना चाहिए, ताकि गठबंधन की राजनीति में जिस तरह दिक्कतें आपको आई होंगी या दबाव आए होंगे देश के विदेश के, उससे निपटने में अगले नेतृत्व को, लीडरशिप को सुविधा हो?
I haven't thought through this question in any depth, but it is my preliminary reaction that the parliamentary system of government is the best suited for a country of India's complexity, of India's diversity, that a presidential type of system would be counterproductive.
The next question goes to the representative from NDTV English, Mr. Sunil Prabhu.
Mr. Prime Minister, sir, my question is very simple and straightforward on the issue. I know there have been a lot of questions on corruption, on various other issues, but personally for you, many will accuse you, as you said, history has to be kind and look at you and you'll come out unscathed, but many will look at you personally as being unable to actually act or rein in your own cabinet ministers. The fact that you allowed a situation to go out of hand, that you failed to act politically, which was required, and that you kept going back to a co-group or to various other people but refused to act, and that is why we came to a stage where even the Supreme Court asked the Prime Minister's office and even indicted it for various acts of omission and commission. So how do you respond to that politically, and how do you see your legacy because of the failure of you to act in a
Well, I honestly believe that history will be kinder to me than the contemporary media or for that matter the opposition parties in parliament.
But about the fact that you failed to act personally and rein in your own cabinet ministers.
I cannot, I think, divulge all the things that take place in the cabinet system of government. I think, taking into account the circumstances and the compulsions of a coalition polity, I have done as best as I could do under the circumstance.
The representative from Z News, please.
थैंक यू मनीष जी। और प्रधानमंत्री जी, सबसे पहले आपका धन्यवाद कि मुझे इस सवाल पूछने का मौका मिला। मैं आपको जी मीडिया के एक नेशनल चैनल और 8 रीजनल चैनल के 200 मिलियन व्यूवर्स की तरफ से आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं कि जब आप कहते हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री के तौर पर आपका जो है कार्यकाल अब आप पूरा करने जा रहे हैं और बैटन आप राहुल गांधी को आप इंडिकेट कर रहे हैं, मेरा सवाल आपसे यह है कि जब मुकाबला होगा तो राहुल गांधी वर्सेस नरेंद्र मोदी का मुकाबला होता है। नेचुरली आप राहुल गांधी के साथ खड़े होंगे क्योंकि आपकी पार्टी के, लेकिन क्या आप मानते हैं मुकाबला बराबरी का होगा और 2014 में वाकई आप राहुल गांधी के नेतृत्व में सरकार बना पाएंगे या आपको विपक्ष में बैठना पड़ेगा? थैंक यू वेरी मच।
I have full confidence that the next Prime Minister will be from the UPA coalition, and that without discussing the merits of Mr. Narendra Modi, I sincerely believe that it would be disastrous for the country to have Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister.
The next question goes to the representative from the Indian Express, Mr. Manish Chibber, if he's here, please.
Yeah, right here. Ye niche.
So, hello, sir. Manish Chibber from Indian Express. Sir, the BJP and Mr. Modi's, charge against you is that you have been a weak prime minister. So, do you think, your party has a role to play in that projection of this view?
Well, I do not believe that I have been a weak prime minister. That is for the historians to judge, and the BJP and its associates may say whatever they like, but if by strong prime minister you mean that you preside over the mass massacre of innocent citizens in the streets of Ahmedabad, that is the measure of strength. I do not believe that sort of strength this country needs, least of all in its prime minister.
The representative from the Hindu, Mr. Praveen Swami, do I see him?
Right there, please.
Prime Minister, Praveen Swami from the Hindu, on a slightly different topic. It's been widely reported that in your first tenure, you were on the verge, by some accounts, of a historic deal with Pakistan on Jammu and Kashmir. When you look back on your 2 terms, will you feel historic opportunities were missed? And do you believe the prospects of durable peace settlement will still remain in reach for your successor?
Well, I have tried to improve relations with all our neighbors to the best of my ability, and at one time it appeared that important breakthrough was in sight. Even in Pakistan, for example, the fact that General Musharraf had to make way for a different setup, I think that led to the process not moving further. But I still believe that good relations between India and Pakistan are very essential for this subcontinent of ours to realize its full development potential, to get rid of poverty, ignorance, and disease, which has been the inevitable lot of millions and millions of people in this subcontinent of ours.
And now the representative of the public broadcaster, the person from Doordarshan, please. There he is.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, मैं अशोक श्रीवास्तव हूँ डीडी न्यूज़ से। प्रधानमंत्री जी, जब आप वित्त मंत्री थे तो आप जो आर्थिक उदारवाद की जो नीतियां शुरू की, आपकी वित्त मंत्री के रूप में उस विरासत को आज भी देश याद करता है। अब आज जबकि आपने ऐलान किया है कि अगली बार आप प्रधानमंत्री पद की दौड़ में नहीं होंगे, तो प्रधानमंत्री के तौर पर आपकी विरासत को, आपको क्या लगता है देश कैसे याद रखेगा? और इसके साथ एक छोटी सी चीज़ और जोड़ना चाहूँगा कि पिछले 10 सालों में आपकी उपलब्धियों का लेखा जोखा तो इसमें है, लेकिन आपको क्या लगता है क्या 10 सालों में आपने मिस किया जो आप हासिल करना चाहते थे देश के लिए, जो आप हासिल नहीं कर पाए इन 10 सालों में?
Well, I have done as well as I could under the circumstances. It is for the historians to judge how successful I have been. My own feeling is that we have maintained and sustained the momentum of rapid economic growth. And if you look at the period of 9 years that we have completed, compare it with the preceding 6 years of the NDA, I think it emerges very clearly that in most indicators of performance, our performance has been superior to that of the NDA period.
The representative from the digital media, Sheila Bhatt from the Rediff, please. Right there.
Sir, I'm Sheila Bhatt from Rediff.com and India Abroad. Sir, do you think the experiment of the dual center of power, where the party president was more powerful than the PMO, has worked very well in last 10 years? Was this division of real power and a formal power necessary? And do you think that was this arrangement a liability or an asset to your UPA government?
Well, I can only speak about the system as it has worked. I sincerely believe that an arrangement where the Congress president and the Prime Minister do not happen to be the same person, in the circumstances, it has worked exceedingly well. For me, it has been a remarkable achievement that I have been able to complete 10 years of my prime ministership without any hiccups in the relationship between the Congress party and the Prime Minister, or for that matter, the government. For me, Mrs. Gandhi's support has been enormous help in dealing with very complex issues, and the fact that she was there to back me up facilitated my task as Prime Minister in more than one ways.